Hey, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com, and this is possibly, I don't want to jinx anything, this is possibly the last day of summer. 18 degrees apparently when the sun is out, and the sun has just come out and it's shining directly at me, which is lovely. Woohoo. When it's not shining, it's not quite so sunny. I'm in one of my favourite spots, what I call office number 2, which is by the pond in town, a few seconds away from where we usually have the Watford Beach and where we have the outdoor cinema. For those of my friends in the United Kingdom, if you can get out and about today, as I said, I don't want to jinx it, it could be that we're back to 28 degrees next week. That would be fabulous, but just in case we're not, see if you can get out today and grab a little bit of sunshine. According to my weather app, it's going to be really lovely here, on and off, because it's cloudy and overcast as well, until about 5-6 p.m. So even if you're at work, maybe you can have a lunch break and get some of that all-important vitamin D onto your skin. I hope that you're all fit and healthy and well. When I do get back home to office number 1, I'm going to be trying out a piece of kit. And what I'm probably going to do, I haven't decided yet, and maybe actually if you've got a preference, let me know, and I'll see if you know which one to go for. But I'm thinking about possibly to test out this piece of equipment, either offering for a much smaller fee, offering the first half day of my HUNA workshop, or offering the first half day of my practitioner insider secrets workshop, because I've got to upload some video content and make sure that the ticketing works, make sure it all runs smoothly. Sorry, I'm sitting on my hair here. Let me just, because every time I move, I'm pulling my own hair. And so I just want to make sure that all the ticketing works and that the streaming works, that the uploading works. So I'm maybe going to do it with one of those 2 videos. I'm not going to do the photo reading because number 1, it's a completely different price point. And number 2, there's an offer already running until the end of this month if you wanted to do the whole photo reading workshop and save yourself at the moment £400. And it's just that what I've done this time is done a limited time offer, where rather than just buying the whole thing as a lifetime deal, you can buy it for 7 days, for 30 days or 60 days. So that offer's running until the end of this month. So what I might do is just one of the one-day workshops, choose a half-day segments. If you have got a preference, the HUNA is, well, if you followed me, you've heard me talk about HUNA a lot. And that's the ancient Hawaiian healing modality, the whole thing about empowerment, clearing your energy remotely. It is fantastic. The Practitioner Insider Secrets, I ran it, the online version I ran 2 years ago today. So actually that might be a good one to choose for the anniversary. But I ran it 2 years ago today as an online one-day video webinar workshop, and taking people through the processes that I use to create my online programs, my e-coaching programs, my video webinars, also how I structure my talks and my presentations. So that is the second option. Just having a think. Could actually maybe put into the mix the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest, which is the annual event which we normally run the first weekend in December. So while I'm out here just soaking up the last little bits of sun, what I'm going to do is have a think about which of those I might want to offer. But if you do have a preference, let me know, and I'll put that into the mix. And I can see a few messages here. What's the price of the photo reading? Hey Nathan, if you wanted to do it as a 7-day access, 249, no, it was 247 last week. This week, until the end of this month, it's 347, and you get access for 7 days. If you wanted to have access for 30 days, it's 447, no, it was 247, so it's 347, 447, 547. So I'm thinking about the prices when I first did it. But yeah, and the link, because this is real time, if you scroll down on my main page, you'll see a little video with a countdown, and it says 3 days to go, and there's a little animation of a brain lifting weights. If you scroll down, the link is there. The main site that it's on is www transformationstm.newzenler.com. What I'll do when this video is finished rolling, I'll add the link into the comments as well. But after this video, if you then go and scroll down on my main page, if you're watching this in real time, the link is there, and that offer is open until the 30th of September. What else you're redoing it, cool. Now the price if you're redoing it is $250, but that's different to this. If you wanted to redo it and have the online video webinar workshop, I would say that will be you're better off just going for the lifetime deal, because that means you're not time limited. You have full access to the whole 3-day video webinar workshop. I've also uploaded PDF versions of the course handouts. There's a PDF version of the photo reading playbook. There's a PDF version of the photo reading book. And there's the MP3 of the photo reading tips and insights CD and the photo reading paraliminal. So you would be better off doing the lifetime version, I would say, because then you have access to it forever. And for repeating students, that's £250 sterling. So if you wanted to do that, just ping me a message. I can send you a link for that. What I have to do is create a discount code that logs into the platform where I house the material, because at the moment it's £750 if you just went straight to that page. So what I'll do is I can maybe set up a discount code which you could then use. Cool, hopefully that answers your question. Oh, and good morning to you too. Yeah, so hope you're all fabulous. For me, and we've had the debate now, I'm seeing more of the conversation about vitamin D, and it was probably, I think it was April this year, I did a very short appearance on the Jeremy Vine show on Channel 5, because they wanted people coming in to ask their resident doctor some questions, and I had a statement and a question. My statement was, I remember growing up that when you were ill, one of the things that you did to get well was to go out and get yourself some sunshine. So my question was, are we not damaging ourselves potentially more by being deprived of vitamin D? And that was in the point where lockdown was, stay in your houses, don't go out until it's absolutely necessary. And what I was saying to my clients was, if you've got a garden, please go and stand in it. If you do not have a garden, stand outside your own front door. Get yourself some sunshine and vitamin D. And so when I called into the Jeremy Vine show, I posed my question to the resident doctor. Her response was, Marilyn, that's the best question. And now, of course, we're seeing the reports coming out about vitamin D, etc., etc. So my thing, I do it every year anyway, but I made more of a point of doing it this year, even on the days where it wasn't brilliantly sunny, was saving up the stuff that I can do online. Using the free Wi-Fi courtesy of Watford Town Centre, and so coming out here to answer my emails, look at messages, write my social media posts, because, and it could do, and I used to joke and say it's a Caribbean thing in terms of loving the sunshine, but actually beyond that, I've always kind of been aware that vitamin D is so important. And even if you've never really thought about the concept, you've probably noticed that people are just more cheerful when the sun is shining. So you could just take it to be as simple as that. But yeah, when the opportunity presents itself, I do like to come out and get some sun. I'm wearing a sun absorbing colour today, wear the lady in black, to help absorb what little bit there is. So yeah, cool. Well, keep an eye on my e-newsletter list if you want to find out more about testing out the platform and doing kind of the first half day. The half day video webinar workshops tend to be about 4.5 hours. The 1 day workshops 8.5 hours. So yeah, and also let me know, do you have a preference? Would you want to try out the HUNA? Would you want to have access to the Practitioner Insider Secrets workshop? Would you want the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest, which is looking like it says on the tin at the mind, the body, the spirit and the soul. And it's myself and my clairvoyant friend, the lovely Gina Batt. So let me know if you have a preference with any of those. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, HUNA. 2, Practitioner Insider Secrets. Number 3, Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest. Let me know if you have a preference. And once I've got the platform set up, I will then send out the link via my e-newsletter list, and I'll also send the link to those of you who have commented on the thread of this video as well. Cool, hang on, more messages. Oh, Annika, I'm telling you. Well, I was checking last week. I'm at home. Like Monday, Tuesday, I was out sunbathing at Castle Row Park all day on my staycation. By Thursday, I'm at home in my fluffy house PJs, my fluffy socks, and wearing my Harry Potter dressing gown. And I was looking at the weather for the week ahead, and I noticed that it said today was going to be 18 degrees and sunny. So I'm like, right, that's it. I'm saving up everything for the, everything that's built up while I've been on staycation. I'm going to bring it outside and just make the most of the last little bit of sun. I hope that this isn't the last day of summer, and trust me, Annika, I had to walk around to kind of find the best spot. If you could see what, actually, let me just see. If I do that, you might be able to see behind me. So the sun is shining directly, directly in front of me. So yeah, the sun is shining now directly here, which is great. Best spot. I've moved already twice. I've been doing a bit of sun chasing, but yeah, it's fabulous. But trust me when I tell you, I was round the corner earlier because I had to just popped into a shop. Bloody freezing when the sun isn't shining, and when there's cloud cover, really cold. Sitting right here in the trajectory of the sun, marvelous. It actually feels like a summer's day, so I am making the most of it and milking it as much as I possibly can, and just sitting and doing my emails, etc. So yeah, it's gorgeous here. Missed the beginning, so no context, but who knows. Right, so Annika, what I'm doing, surprise, surprise, this will not surprise you, I'm just testing out a ticketing platform, and what I can do with this platform is offer like a limited time access to a workshop. So what I was possibly going to do is, and it's not free, I've got to test out all the functionality, but what I was going to do is either offer the first half day of my one-day Huna workshop, of my one-day practitioner insider secrets workshop, or the Mind Body Spirit Energy Fest. So rather, I'm not offering the whole video webinar, but it will be the first 4.5 hours, depending on how I've done the time split on those videos, because I want to test out the platform, make sure it's working, look at how the ticketing works, look at how the streaming works to make sure it's all easy, people can access it easily. So yeah, it was choosing between those three propositions in terms of what people wanted to do. So that was the context for that one. Oh my gosh, seriously. Yesterday, I had the Blue Hand thing as well, and I was watching, there's a guy called Eddie Nestor who does a Sunday show called No Joke, and his wife comes onto the show. She's like wearing a scarf, and so people are going, are you cold? And she's like, Eddie won't let me put the heating on until October. And I was laughing because about 10 minutes before, my fingers were so blue and so cold. I'm like, I have to give in. I don't care if the sun is shining outside and that is still only September. I am sorry, but I have to now go and put the central heating on. So I put the heating on. I feel like, like a bit like an addict. I put it on for an hour, in my words, to take the edge off, because it was just so cold. So yeah, my house is actually pretty chilly as well. So weirdly, it's warmer out here than it is in my office at home. So yeah, it's crazy. Oh, you went to watch Juventus play? Wow. So Nathan, you were in the audience? I hadn't been following football, I must be honest with you. I was just aware that they were playing to themselves, and there's a version, if you've got Sky Sports here, you can have crowd on or crowd off, which means that you can either have the auto cheering of a crowd when they score, or you can just watch in silence. I hadn't realised we were back to live audiences. How interesting. And I'm glad about that. I mean, as you know, I live in Watford. I'm about 10 minutes walk. Actually, let's just say 20 minutes walk if you're a regular walker, 10-15 minutes if you walk pretty fast. And on match day, when the wind is in the right direction, I can actually hear the crowds cheering and shouting. So I always know when something has happened. And yeah, so there's been complete silence the last few months for sure. But yeah. So I am just soaking up the sun. I'm loving this. But alas, next week, well, not even next week, tomorrow, I think it's down to about 14 degrees. And by the end of the week, 9-10 degrees. And it's going down to about 6 or 7 degrees at night. So sadly, I think this might be the last day of summer for 2020. I hope not. because I do love being able to come out here and work. It's gorgeous. As I said, this is summer office number 2. Summer office number 3 is Cassierberry Park. The signal isn't quite so good at Cassierberry Park though, and there's no free Wi-Fi, which I actually think is a good thing. So unless I want to use my data, I tend to go there just to chill and to write and to relax, meditate, sunbathe, lie on my beach towel, whatever, which is what I did last week, eating my unicorn birthday cake, which was gorgeous. So yeah, hang on, let me see what else we've got here. You need Huna prayers for Juventus, this UEFA Championships League system. Oh, Nathan, oh, you say that was last year, okay, okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, cool. Well, wishing you all a really fantastic week. Hope you have a brilliant end to the month of September. Let us hope that October has much better things in store. This has been a crazy year. We're now heading into the last quarter of 2020, and yeah, given what's happened this month, it's really even difficult to predict and say. And this, you know, this was the first year in 20 years that I didn't buy a calendar, that I didn't sit and write my goals for the year. I do it religiously, either 31st of December, 1st of January, every year for at least 20 years in terms of the book that I use now. Done it every single year, and this year I just could not bring myself to plan, to think about the year ahead. I didn't even buy the year planner pages until March, after we went into lockdowns. I had to buy them on Amazon, and normally I buy them around September time, so everything's ready and lined up. So I think my psyche knew something weird was coming for 2020, so it's going to be interesting to see where I'm at psychologically in terms of wanting to plan for 2021. And thankfully I started this year abroad, Gran Canaria, had a few weeks out in the sun in January of this year, and we had debated doing it later in the year. Thankfully we decided on January. So yeah, it was a weird start to the year, very different for me, and could never have predicted where we are now. But hey, going to start focusing on where we're going. Probably going to reinstate something that I sort of started a few months ago, the One Focus Challenge. It feels like the right time to bring that back to life now, as people are not quite so shell-shocked and discombobulated. So I may bring that one back on stream for October and do some live streams for that, as well as the kind of the daily coachings, because it kind of stalled. There were some technical things I wanted to sort out, and then it actually just didn't feel like the right time to do it with everything that was going on. But yeah, I think it's time for the One Focus Challenge to return as well. Cool. Tarot Tuesday next week, Annika, absolutely. And I did a soul card reading for the membership group last night for Soul Food Sunday. For some weird reason, I could not get what I'd written to upload. I just couldn't post it, and with the cards and stuff. So when I get back, we've got a bonus. I'll post the picture of the Soul Plan card that I pulled last night with the little write-up for Soul Food Sunday. So I'll do that when I get home, rather than fiddling about, because I think it's just deleted itself as well, so I'll have to probably rewrite it. But Tarot, hang on a minute. Oh my God, you're right. Tarot Tuesday is next week, isn't it? Holy moly. Okay, right. So I'm not sure if I've got the Tarot Tuesday on my cloud drive. If I have, I'll upload the little video and start the thread. If I haven't, that'll be on the list when I get back to office number 1. But yeah, you're right, Tarot Tuesday. Oh, I know why it feels like it's come really quickly, because I was at the TCCHE event, the Conference for Consciousness and Human Evolution. So I was emceeing and hosting the Q&A for the TCCHE at the end of the month and the start of September. So that's why I couldn't do it, because on some of the days I was online from 8:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and that was a straight run through. Of course we had a break for lunch, you know. So I couldn't run Tarot Tuesday when I normally run it. That's why it feels like I only did it the other day, because quite literally I did only do it the other day. So yeah, you're right, Tarot Tuesday is next week. All right, so I'll get the thread up for that as well. Think Tank Thursday is this week, so if you've got a question, a challenge, If you want some online coaching, online consultancy, then get your question in for Think Tank Thursday. That is this week. Even though Thursday is technically the first of this month, it's just been a weird, as well, I don't need to explain to you, it's been weird times, and diary's been a bit over the place with the TCCHE stuff. Yay. Cool. Right. Fab. So where are you at with the calendar buying this year? I haven't even thought about getting my 2021 pages. And normally by now I'm kind of like, oh, when I'm next in W.H. Smith, I'll check the prices and I'll look on Amazon and see who's doing the best deal for the File of Facts pages. But give me a moment, let me just think about that for a second. If I were choosing a word, I'm just kind of thinking, okay, 2021, how am I feeling about 2021? For 2020, the thinking was, no rush, let's leave this for a while. Let's have a little bit of a break and do things differently. That was the kind of what I told myself. When I was like, why haven't we bought these pages yet? Why haven't we started planning? It was like, chill. 2021, how am I feeling about 2021? Oh, the sun's gone in for it. Come back, Chuck, come back. 2021. Okay, a couple of things come to mind in answer to that question. One of the statements that has just kind of come into my head like a bit of a jolt was that there's everything to play for, and there's all to play for. Can I tell you any more about what that means? Now, consciously, I don't agree with what I'm about to say. And actually, Annika, you and I have been having this conversation this morning. But the feeling around that is it's a level playing field. I don't necessarily, the reason I don't consciously believe that's true is that those of you who are running businesses, had shops and had premises, etc., the financial challenges have been real if you have not been sitting on a nest egg. And so that puts you in a precarious and difficult and challenging position potentially. Whereas those who are sitting on big resources are ahead of the game and can actually be buying up businesses and stock and property, etc. But I'm going to put that part of the conversation aside and come back to the flip side of that. The flip side of that is basically saying we've almost been leveled to a point where, okay, the best way I can put it is a clean slate. In some respects, because so much has been lost, because so much has been taken away, it almost feels like you're now at a clean slate, where it may be that the way you identified yourself in terms of who you are and what you do in the world, people often identify by their jobs and their profession. For example, let's just say you've been furloughed or you've been laid off, so you're no longer Anne or A, like Anne an accountant or a chef or a teacher or whatever it might be. So it could be that part of that identity has been stripped away or put on hold in terms of where we're at now and what's been happening. And so the opportunity for 2021, almost a bit like Madonna, is almost like the time for reinvention. Great, who you were and what you were doing no longer is. If you had to choose again, and now I can hear the words of Indiana Jones in one of the movies, where he's choosing the Holy Grail and the knight says choose wisely, it's almost as though 2021 is going to be a choice point in terms of the next phase, the next trajectory, the next step. Where do you want to go and who do you want to be? In terms of, if you were like almost choosing a new identity, and for some people letting go of the past is really hard and really difficult. 2020 has just done that for us. It's just like bang, gone. So now it's like you've had to let go in some respect to things that were your normal, and now 2021 is almost a chance to choose. So coming round now to the diary question, because I have started doing it more seriously in August, September time, where I'm back to writing because I write, for the last 20 years, I write my weekly goals. Well, I don't call them goals, but I write I'll say goals because that's a word people will get. I write my weekly goals annually, and I write them monthly as well. So I've been doing that for the last 2.5 months. So I'm back into the flow of it now. So I probably will be getting the diary for 2021. I probably will pick it up earlier than March 2021. So yeah, I'm kind of getting back into the flow of that, and the practice that I use, it's one that allows me to feel as though I'm steering. If this was a cruise ship, I'm not just kind of drifting along, I'm actually kind of steering. Yes, there's room to be kind of moved in other directions if we want to kind of talk about it on the bigger scale of the universe, but the writing process and some of you will know if I've spoken to you about it, there are things that I will write, let's say January, February, come September, October, I suddenly have this bright idea, and then I open the page of that diary for something I've done or achieved or I'm thinking about, and it's there written in black and white, and I almost don't even remember writing it. So that's where the kind of, my clients often talk about speaking it into existence, and that's where the writing it into existence comes. And possibly as I'm kind of thinking about it now, maybe my brain was like, look, don't even bother writing for the beginning months of 2020, because whatever you write is not necessarily going to happen. But that's not strictly true, because I did it as a written post. I might have even done a Facebook Live, and Annika, you read that post because we bantered about it. But I said 2020 was the year to go global. Now, in the midst of a pandemic and global lockdown, you might go, well, well done, Marilyn, that didn't happen. It did. Even if I just go back to the TCCHE, which I was emceeing and hosting at the start of this month, we were broadcasting to over 40 countries live. And I've got the A to Z list of all of those countries. So it was a global event. Last week, there was a day where I started off the day with a client in Australia. I then had a client, it booked in from Minneapolis. I then had a client who was somewhere in the UK. And then I finished off with doing a live interview with Sheila Mack for the Sheila Mack Show. She's out in Hollywood in the United States. So that was a global day. And when I was looking at my diary and then I remember the TCCHE, I'm like, oh my goodness, I did go global this year. I just wasn't jumping on a plane to do it. So there's definitely power in the process of writing and bringing the right energy to that. So I will be doing that for 2021, because even in the midst of a pandemic, what I've been saying and what I've been writing for myself has come true. So yeah, it's going to be game on for 2021 for sure. Good time. Actually, Annika, yeah, if you've got the kind of the time and the resources, this is a great time. And of course, in every single challenge, every single recession, every single downturn, that is always the catalyst for new businesses. I mean, we've got new businesses booming now. Of course, hand sanitizers already existed, but there are mask making companies now. There are people who are in the gift box business. They've been kind of doing very well. The people who do the Deliveroo, and you see the guys on the bicycles with the boxes on their backs. That's been a whole industry that, again, it already existed, but it's really kind of booming and taking off. Of course, everybody has discovered online. I've been doing online coaching, online training and online therapy for the past 15 years. If you're watching this in real time, I started in 2005. And I've been running online teleseminars since that time as well, and full 1 to 3 day online video webinar trainings for the last 4 or 5 years. The reason I left it so late, the sun's back, is that the technology was not there to support it, which is why I was using teleseminars. And I've been working with organizations to implement smart, remote and flexible working policy and strategy since 2003. So that's 17 years at this point. So everything that the world is calling the new normal is very much my old normal. But the new normal that we're seeing now, that has most certainly spawned a ton of new businesses, some of which haven't been born yet. People are still in the inception stages, but they're looking at where the world is at and looking at, okay, what does the world now need? And trust me when I tell you, there's going to be it's just a mushrooming. So yeah, this is a great time to be innovative. I think the challenge is many people are not feeling innovative, they're not feeling creative, they're feeling stuck, they're feeling stifled, they're feeling fearful. That's understandable, because that's the climate that we're living in at the moment, both emotionally, politically, and globally. So I understand that. But if people have got their head in the game, this is definitely a great time to bring some of that creativity to the fore, for sure. Yes, done only online therapy this summer. It works well, absolutely. And I've been, as you know, you've been one of the people who's been with me for many years, and I really thank you for that. I've been banging on about the effectiveness of working in this way, what feels like forever. And my first instance of that was with the Huna, where almost 20 years ago, started sending Huna energy to people remotely, and they would feel it, and not just feel it, they were coming back and emailing me or calling me and telling me exactly what I'd sent to them, and they had no idea what I was doing. So I got the power of this 20 years ago and have been doing it ever since. That's one of the reasons why I love Huna, because it knows no bounds and travels globally, and some of you have seen like the wonderful testimonials from people like the amazing therapist Pippa Neve, who is out in Australia. She was one of the people who has literally word for word written down what I sent her. Well, I wasn't even sending it to her, it was just a general MP3 recording. I was testing something out of my e-newsletter list. Also, while we're on the subject, Annika, can you do me a favor, please? So Annika is also a talented, really gifted therapist, multimodality. She is actually offering sessions for a ridiculous price of £30, because she's also testing out a new piece of software that I recommended. That offer is on this week. Annika, when you've got a minute, can you put the link to that in the chat thread, please? So if people want to take you up on that offer, they can do so. Can you also say if I presume it's a remote offer, like online coaching, online therapy. I know you're also seeing people one-to-one with the social distancing, because you posted that gorgeous picture of your massage bed in the garden last week. I thought that was just so cool. But in terms of the offer, because I know you're looking for some volunteers, number one, to test out the system, and number two, with some of the new things that you've been working on. So post the link where people can, your Book Like a Boss link, post that into the thread. So if anyone who's watching this wants to take you up on that offer, they can do. I think that'll be really cool. And at that price, once your mind has been blown, do be sure to give Annika a lovely testimonial, because word of mouth, social proof, it still helps the world turn. And with so many new things springing up now, and sometimes people are suddenly an expert after a couple of days, it's really lovely to have client testimonials so people can attest to the value of the work that you're actually doing, and it's not just that you can write really good marketing copy. So those are always appreciated. Annika says, yes, it's remote at the moment. The garden is very cold. Absolutely. And there's a friend of mine who's a massage therapist. This is one you might want to think about, actually. A lovely lady called Kathy Hector. Some of you might know her from when I was, this time last year, I was getting ready to go out and teach in Spain for her Cambio Retreats event. I was doing soul plan readings and Huna sessions and future life progression sessions. And Kathy actually, even in Spain, her massage bed, she has a heated blanket that you lie on. It's gorgeous. I cannot tell you how wonderful it feels to get onto a massage bed and get on to an electric blanket. Just incredible. So Annika, you might want to think about getting one of those, regardless. I mean, of course, you don't want to use it in the height of summer, but we were using it out in Spain last year. We were out there in November, I believe. It was still warm, but it was just really lovely to get onto a massage bed that had an electric blanket. So you might want to think about that. Well, thank you everyone for spending summer lunchtime with me. I'm in sunny, I often say live from sunny Watford when I'm doing a video webinar, and it's absolutely totally true. I can see the cloud cover is coming in a bit. I think it's going to start to get cloudy around 3:30, 4 p.m. And you can feel when the chill sets in. But thank you so much for spending lunchtime with me. Annika says, I've extended the offer since so many things have come up on the computer technical side of things, and it's www.bookme.name/silver bullet healing. So sorry, you're having to look up my nose when I'm doing that. take Annika up on that incredible, amazing offer. She's extended it for a few days. And if you're watching this as a replay, click the link, and even if the offer has changed, I'm sure you'll find something there that would be wonderful for you to do. That will be amazing. Hey, Richard Olive. Oh my God, I love Richard Olive. Not in that way, he's married. Oh, sorry, Richard, did I just marry you off? I'm not sure if you are married, but I know you're cohabiting with your lovely lady. Richard Olive is a DJ. I have to tell you, he used to work for the BBC and that sort of thing. We first met via Gina Bat when I would go down and appear on his show on Harborough FM. He's now on Forest FM. And I have to tell you, Richard is one of the best DJs I have ever met and I've ever heard. Let me put that into context for you. Years ago, I was speaking at the NEC in Birmingham. I was speaking there for 2 or 3 days, and I was on just after and just before Gok Wan. He was really big in those days, and I was interviewed by two different DJs. The first one I had, and it was December, so it was snowing, so there were all sorts of problems getting there, and we were speaking to a crowd of about, I don't know, 30 or 40 people, a handful, because the trains were not coming into the NEC. The first DJ, because it was being broadcast by a radio station, the interview was fire. It was amazing. The second DJ in the afternoon, and we by that time had probably 2,000 people in the audience, was good, but it was nothing like the morning session. And that in that moment, that's when I realized the power of the interviewer. When you have a good interviewer, when you have a good MC, when you have a good host, everything just flows. And then when I met Richard Olive a few years later and sat with him, across from him in the studio, so you've got the big headphones on, you're in front of the big microphone, you've got the big sound cushion in front of you, I was like, oh my God, Richard Olive is one of those people where it doesn't matter who is in front of him, even if the interviewee isn't very good, and I'd like to think I'm a brilliant interviewee, even if the interviewee isn't very good, or they're not very confident, they don't really know what to say, when you're in front of someone who's good, who's hot, the show will always be magic. And whether I'm live on the show with Richard or listening to him on what was Harborough FM, now listening to him when I can catch him for the 2 days that he's on Forest FM, he is one of those people who just has the gift. I guess on my soul plan it talks about having the gift of oration. Richard is one of those people. He is incredible, he is amazing, and he's a fabulous human being. So Forest FM, Richard, if you happen to be on still, put the link to Forest FM and tell us which days you're on, so people can tune in and catch you, because of course it's online so you can listen in from around the world. But Richard Olive is one of my favourite people, just a magical, incredible, wonderful human being. So thank you, Richard, for tuning in. And Annika says, it is indeed a ridiculous offer. People have to bear with me concerning the technical side of things. Richard said, my head's huge. Richard, I love you. You're amazing. And you've been such a wonderful friend to the amazing Gina Bat as well. I know, actually, I spoke to Gina a few days ago, and she was saying, oh, I really miss Richard. I do want to go down for a visit. And I was like, well, you know, when social distancing relaxes, drop him a line and see if he's up for visitors. But yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Oh my God, the sun's gone in again, and I swear to you, it feels like it's dropped about 5 or 6 degrees when the sun goes down. Well, seriously, this was only going to be a quick sort of 2-minute Facebook Live to go out and get some sun. I have no idea how long it's been now. I'll tell when I've uploaded the video, but it's much longer than I thought. But it's been just wonderful to chat with you all. It's been really, really fantastic. Why would I say that? Sorry, there's another conversation going in my head. It has been fantastic to chat to you all. The word in my head was, ooh, well, maybe when you do Tarot Tuesday, just maybe pull one card and do a quick reading on my main page. So that's what I'll probably do this month, is to do a very quick version of Tarot Tuesday on my main page. I know it's completely random, but that's what it's like inside of my head. I hear voices. But that was the thing. It's like, oh, tell them you'll maybe do a mini version of Tarot Tuesday on my main page. So I'm telling you now, we'll do a mini, I know it's completely random, we'll do a mini version of Tarot Tuesday on my main page next week, just to maybe give a little bit of energy. And with Tarot Tuesday, it's not telling people what to do. I see it more as energetic and spiritual food for thought. Now, the fact that people always watch the replay video and come in with, oh my God, you're not going to believe this, that's exactly what I did, that's exactly what I'm doing, that's exactly what I was planning, that's great. So it does have a predictive quality to it. But in my mind, one of the things I'm doing is, and often it's just telling people what they already know and giving them a little bit of a nudge and a kick up the bum. If there's something that it will be useful for them to get moving on. But I'll do a mini version of that on my main page, as that was a thought that just came to mind. So look out for that as well. Look out for the offer for the test version of the Huna workshop, the Practitioner Insider Secrets, or the Mind Body Spirit Energy Fest. When I get home this afternoon, I'm going to set up a new platform that I'm testing out, and so I'm just going to put a half-day test version of that up for those of you who have joined me a bit later. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, I'll send it out to my e-newsletter list, and for those who would like to, just kind of say yes, you're interested in the thread, and I'll message you the link as well if you wanted to try. It won't be free, but it won't be anywhere near the cost of doing the full one-day workshop either. Cool. Right, well, I'm going to now pull out my jacket, which I do have with me, I hope. Yeah, I do actually. Oh yeah. So I shall be putting on my jacket because it's quite chilly here now. Heading off to Marks and Spencer's and Sainsbury's, do a little bit of shopping, get some food in for the week. Oh, hold on. Oh, bit of fluff. Annika says, Tarot Tuesday, yes. When did you tell me about the love interest? I'm open to the possibility now, see what happens. Woo. Annika, seriously, this is the God's honest, hand on heart truth. I do the Tarot Tuesday video. Of course, you know I do it as a Facebook Live. People come onto the thread after they've watched the replay, because normally I'm talking to myself when I'm live, or just a couple of people, because I do it at random times. People come on and go, oh my God, Marilyn, what you said is so spot on. Spot on is one of the things I hear most often. Oh my God, what you said, and I have no idea what I've said. So I then have to go back and look at the cards, and sometimes that will jog my memory. There have been a couple of times I've been so curious to know what the frick frack I said that I actually go back and I watch a bit of the video just to hear. And when that kept happening a couple of years ago, it was so profound that what I did is I took what people had said, a cut and paste of what they had reported back. I then went back and listened to the video, and I did a word for word transcript of what I had said, and I put them together in a blog. So there's a side-by-side comparison to what I said during Tarot Tuesday and what happened for people, or what they came and reported back that they were already doing, working on, or what had happened. But genuinely, once I've done Tarot Tuesday, once I've done someone's reading, I'm on to the next thing. I actually don't really remember what I've said. So in terms of the love thing, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from the cards, because I always post pictures of the cards that I pull. But yeah, and sometimes you will know. If you go into the membership group, use the search bar, not necessarily the one at the top, but the one bottom left, and type in #TarotTuesday, and that will bring up all of the videos, and then you can actually do a granular search, and you can just search for Tarot Tuesday videos for 2020 rather than going back for the last 4 years. So maybe do it that way, and you might be able to tell from the card that I posted what I had said. But if not, good luck with finding it. Okay, stay away from the unicorn cake. Oh, the unicorn cake was so darn good. It was wonderful. And the unicorn cake, for those who have no idea what we're talking about, my birthday was in May. I had decided, because I was having a lockdown birthday, that I was going to buy myself the unicorn cake from Marks and Spencer's. It was out of stock, which was really, very, very distraught about. And it's been out of stock since then. I occasionally have a little look-see. And last week, or maybe a week and a half ago now, I was leaving Marks. I went round the back way, and there was the unicorn cake. They have 3 boxes on the shelf. So it was, and this is me now. I was like, I'm glad to know it's not been discontinued. I'll get one for my birthday next year. My other brain was like, do you really want to wait 8-9 months? You want to wait until next year? Why don't you just get one now? So I bought myself a unicorn birthday cake. The downside is, well, it depends how you look at it, was that I had to eat it all myself, because of course we're in lockdown, but my God, it was delicious. So I highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, it was just a celebration of me celebration. I'm still here, fit and healthy and well, touch wood, thank you very much, delighted about that. For those of you who are in Watford, I'm sitting directly across from Heather and Rose, which is my favourite independent health food store in terms of vitamins, foodstuffs, etc. So do check them out. They're at the top end by the pond, next to the Bamboo Healing Place and next to the two, in between the two male barber shops. But Heather and Rose, one of my favourite stores. They used to be Panacea in the Into Centre, the Harlequin Centre. They now have their own store out here, so do check them out if you're local to Watford. Cool, well I'm going to head off now, get my grocery shopping in. The benches are slowly being vacated around me because it's very, very overcast and cloudy now, but I'm delighted that I had the opportunity to come out here and catch some rays. I have really loved every single minute of this conversation with you all. Thank you so much for joining me from around the world, adding another piece to that going global year. I really appreciate it. And if you've got any comments, if you've got any questions about anything I've shared, if you're watching this as a replay, then drop it into the comments box and I'll post a link, etc. What I'll do when I've set up the new platform, I'll maybe drop the link into this thread. I'll also find the link to the comparison blog for Tarot Tuesday if you want to read that for yourself. And look out on my page next Tuesday for a very brief version of, I always say that, it's probably going to end up being an hour, but a very brief version of Tarot Tuesday. And for those of you who are in the membership group, if you'd like a free reading this month, I do individual readings for anyone who wants a reading. Then when I put the Tarot Tuesday thread up, you know the drill, just put yes into the thread and I'll do a full reading for you next week. Cool. Oh, I hope you're all fit and healthy and well. I will catch you all later. And if you've got any questions, you've got any queries about anything I do, the easiest place to find, no, that's, my other brain is like, that's not strictly true, but where you'll find everything, but there's a lot on the website, is my main website is www.transformationstm.com. And trance is TRANCE, F for Freddy, so FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark.com. If you wanted to go straight to the e-learning online platform, it's www.transformationstm.newzenler.com, NEWZENLER.com, or Z for those of you in America. So www.transformationstm.newzenler.com. That's the e-learning site. The new platform I'm just going to have a little bit of a play with. It doesn't have a URL or anything like that yet, but that's where you can find information. And if you've got any questions, any queries, and you don't want to put them in the thread, or you happen to be watching on YouTube, then email Marilyn, MARILYN, at transformationstm.com. And to find me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., /Marilyn Devonish. Devonish is DEV for Victor, ONISH. And the only place that's different is Instagram, which is the NeuroSuccess Coach. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for the company. It's been great lunching with you all, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.